Hi, Mama.
Hi, Sarah. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great. Sorry I wasn't able to join earlier because I
That's
had a
okay.
packed schedule
Yes,
back to back.
I understand. Actually, it's been a rush. We are not admitting parents yet. Just now, we were just waiting for our principal and HM to join as well, and just wanted to have a word with you. Also, I'm sorry about this rush. Suddenly, actually, we are following the CBSE curriculum here,
Right.
right? And that pre-boards and everything is scheduled for the next month, and we just wanted to get going with this as soon as possible. Hence, the entire hurry and fiasco around it.
No, no, no. I'm so glad. I know that I saw that you had uploaded your students today as well. So I'm so
Yes,
glad
I
that you
did
guys are
that.
so keen to get started. That's
Yes,
great. And especially because they're grade 10. So it's great to see that you're trying to launch this as early as possible. I was just pushing for us to maybe have some sort of internal training or internal discussion before I actually speak to your students. So I'm kind
right.
of able to cater the session
All right.
accordingly.
So I'll give you a brief about that. So at the moment, so that because they're starting with their exams tomorrow, that is why we wanted the session
Right.
to be brief. So
Right.
once that happens, and once we're done with this part of orienting the parents about it, then
Mhm.
at our end, we'll take it forward. And in
Okay,
between,
sure.
if students have any issues and, things like that, so we'll cater to that and probably once it is launched, because just now we wanted to get going with the psychometric test. That is our prime concern at the moment. So as soon as the platform is launched, the first thing that we want get going is the psychometric test for the student.
Okay, okay. So that's actually so those are a couple of things. Usually how it works at Purdue is that once we kind of have the school handed over to the relevant person, so I kind of discuss with the counselor like what we want to do next. So normally we just have a set agenda for the student
Right.
launches, and then we try to have like an onboarding call or discussion with the counselor before we're able to kind of go ahead and launch to students. So I was actually unaware that you wanted to go ahead and launch assessments to students first. That's
Right.
why I sent you the relevant agenda. But what I can do is, so how it works again with our assessments is, as Johnny must have told you, the keys to succeed assessments, they can be embedded into Bridgeview. However, each school has a unique access code that's kind of assigned to students, and student and counselors can go ahead and set those assessments through Bridgeview. So I'd actually like to kind of take you through that before
Okay.
I actually go ahead and kind of launch that to students.
That's
So
okay. So
but
for that,
yeah,
because we had
as a
this
step two.
yeah, that is step two. Once this is done, we'll give it a break. I can stay in touch with you. You can schedule a meeting with me the earliest that you
Yeah,
can, if it can be tomorrow, day
sure.
after, and we will
Okay.
work this bit out at our end.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Sounds
With
great. Yeah,
this, yeah,
that's what I'd actually like to
to
do.
get
So I can kind of.
going, yeah, this has to get going by next week, the psychometric assessments. It's
Okay,
all
that's fine. But yeah, normally how we do it at Bridgeview is that I like to have a discussion with the counselor first, so I can kind of be briefed about what next steps you'd like to take and so on. So what I can do today is we can do the student launch for the agenda that I sent you. So what I'd be doing is kind of walking through the
the
entire
platform.
platform with the
Yes,
students. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that's exactly what I would be
And
doing.
do touch
And then
upon the psychometrics and things like you just need to touch upon it. Does not have to be very elaborate and very lengthy. Where we want to
sure.
make it brief because they have an exam tomorrow, so we don't want to take
Right.
much of their time.
Right. Okay. No worries at all. So
I
I'll
think
be
we're, yeah, I think we're joined by our principal and our academic coordinator and our headmistress as well. Good afternoon.
Hello,
hi.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Good
afternoon, everyone.
afternoon. Okay, I
So
was just listening to your discussion,
yes,
and so today I think we just need to inform students what is this Bridgeview platform and how does this platform support children with their
Yeah.
career along with their career counseling journey, and what are the features which they can use to build up their profile, and through this platform how they can keep everything ready, because it's a long journey for them if you look at grade 9 students. So all these technical things I think can be handled later, and they should know how to register. That is also important.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I have a great idea. I have a great sense of what you would kind of like out of today's meeting. So I'll go ahead and do that and try to keep it brief as well. And then, Sarah, what we usually do again is that we follow up each session with video tutorials. I know that you will be recording today's session, but we can go ahead and kind of share video tutorials with students as well so they can kind of come back and refer to how to use each feature. So I'll go ahead and kind of follow up in an email regarding that, and you can kind
And
of
those
pass that
sessions,
along.
video tutorials can be shared with the students, right?
Yes, ma'am. She'll send
Exactly.
an email. I'll send it across, and that can be shared with the
Yeah.
students.
So today, this would be kind of overview for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. No, I understand.
So we're waiting for students to join.
Sure.
And by next week, we would definitely would like to go ahead with psychometric tests so that they can make the choice of their subject combination, because accordingly we'll have to take a lot of other decisions. First time we are going to have grade 11 in our school.
Right. First
So
graduating
we have to
class.
order books as per the combination of their
Wow.
subjects. A lot of things are, dependent
New
on this
schools. Yeah.
exercise.
I can imagine. No, I can imagine. So I kind of understand the rush behind, kind of getting
And
along.
plus,
So,
this is for the first time we are doing. Let me tell you, here there are 17 Indian schools. We would be the first Indian school offering this service to our children.
wow, that's amazing.
So I
Okay.
think, people will also take some time to understand the concept. Once
No,
it is
I
done, I
understand.
think, with next set of student, it would be very quick.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know that as a school as well, I'm sure that you're getting accustomed to, the first graduating class, and there's so many requirements and things and coordination
Yeah,
that kind of goes in the
exactly.
back end.
Just a second. So let's wait for a student and just excuse me for 1 minute because somebody is waiting at the door. I'll be
Sure.
back in one.
Sarah, so I see
Yes.
that there are more students in the waiting room. Am I supposed to
No,
let
no,
them?
we'll take
Oh,
care of it. We're just waiting for, yeah,
sure, sure.
we'll just give them a grace of 2 minutes.
Sure.
Whenever Sujit sir, ma'am, Madhu ma'am, whenever you say, then we will start admitting. Yes. So while I'll just take this off because I have so many questions throughout this email communication is makes me so restless. So the next step from here, Mama, is going to be you'll get in touch with me regarding the next step of I have already uploaded the student database as you must have seen, and then after that you will the login credentials and everything will be given, and then you're going to get in touch with me regarding the psychometric and the next step how it's supposed to be done. So I'll wait to hear from you.
Yeah, so Sarah, what will happen is that you'll hear from our support team within
Okay.
1 or 2 days that your students
Okay.
are uploaded. So you would go into school settings and
Okay.
you would then be prompted to send out the invitation email to students. So similar to the welcome email that you got from Bridju saying that, hey, please log on and create your account. Once your students are uploaded, that's in your hands when you'd like to go on and send the invitation or welcome email to students. So, if you want to wait till their exams are over or you want to wait till next week, that's entirely up to you. So once you go ahead and you do that, I'll also share what we call our task schedule. So how this works is that for each school it can be different. Like for example, for this school grade 9, there's 3 types of psychometric assessment tests. So this school wanted the students to only do 2 types in grade 9 and then take all 3 tests again in grade 11. So I'll go ahead and send this to you. So the great thing is that it has each feature a video tutorial on how to use that feature,
Okay.
and then also has all of the resources for the students. So as Johnny must have mentioned to you, we have pre-planned activities and lesson plans and boot camps that you can just assign your students or you can do with your students. So for example, I'll let you know that for these 2 type of psychometric assessment tests, these are the lesson plans that are accompanied with it. Each lesson plan is a PDF guide but also a video tutorial as well. So the great thing and why it's really appreciated within our counseling community is that it's a pre-planned activity. You just have to go in and do it with your students or send out the link to your students to kind of complete that. These tasks by year group are the main way, and tasks at Bridgeview are the main way we would kind of assign students either assessments or tasks, and they would go on in and kind of complete those. Once they complete those, that information is kind of fed back to you. So like I think the principal just mentioned that you'd be able to understand how many students are choosing which subjects or are interested in what subjects or countries and so on. So that information would kind of be fed back to you, so you are able to understand the number of students that are interested in particular subjects or interested in applying abroad, or staying locally in Qatar and so on. So by assigning students assessments or tasks, you get all of that information kind of fed back to you. And this task schedule actually has how to use each Bridgeview feature and then the accompanying resource with it as well. So this would be really helpful for you to kind of send out to to all of your students, or kind of share them one by one.
All right. All right. Okay. So I'll take that from there. So
Yeah,
once,
exactly.
all right. I think step by step, once I'm doing it, I'm going to make more sense of what's happening. Yeah.
Right,
It's just
right.
too much information right now. All right. But I'll keep in touch with you. All right. I'm not sure. So Jitsa, are we going to start anytime soon now?
Yes, Ms. Sarah, just in a while we'll be starting. We're just waiting for another few more parents to join us,
Okay, sir.
and we'll start.
Okay. Okay. Just give me a heads up. Good afternoon, everyone. All the parents, students, sir, ma'am present. Before we start, can I please request the parents to switch on their cameras along with the students as well? It's an interactive session and we would highly appreciate your participation. So please switch on your cameras. So good afternoon, ma'am, and parents and students for joining us today. And thank you for joining us today. As a part of our Mentoring Young Minds program, DPS Monarch International has collaborated with BridgeU to provide our students with a platform which will take them one step ahead in planning for all their future career choices. And this is one of the first initiatives that are being carried out by an Indian school in Qatar. So we are very proud of the fact. And for that today, we have Ms. Omama, who has joined us from BridgeU, who will be taking us through the platform. Before we begin, I request our principal, Mrs. Meenal Bakshi, to please introduce the audience, and then we can take it forward from there. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Sarah. A very good afternoon to all the parents, students, teachers, those who have joined us this afternoon. As Ms. Sarah has already mentioned, that we have started a program called Mentoring Young Minds, and the collaboration with BridgeU is just one part of that program, where we want our students to get a platform where they can keep a track of all the activities which would help them in later future to get into a good university, along with their studies happening at DPS Monarch. So BridgeU is a platform which gives an opportunity for students to keep their profile updated all the time. Plus, whatever children are achieving, their achievements, they can always, upload those things. So at the end, once you are about to pass grade 12, you will see over 4 years of time or 3 years of time, you have created your profile at a platform where you can see at a glance where do you stand at present. And then definitely it would help students to keep a track of a lot of information which is practically not possible for students to get from universities. Because if you want to apply for a foreign university, what is the deadline, what kind of test you have to appear, what kind of credentials are required, all this information you will be keep on getting if you are registered with that platform. So basically it's a career counseling platform, and we have Ms. Somama with us from BridgeU. She would be giving an overview of this particular program, how effectively and efficiently we can use this platform to go ahead. And along with her, Ms. Sarah Jabin is here, and she's our school career counselor. And we have Ms. Madhu Uppal, she's the headmistress, and Mr. Sujit Kumar, academic coordinator. So this entire team is working together towards this, the success of this program, which is mainly for our students. So apart from what we teach you in the school, we want to support you in your career counseling as well, so that we make sure if you are studying in our school with us, you make a good choice of university. If you are selecting subjects, you should take a right combination of subjects as per your career choice. We want to know your interest. Suppose your child is in grade 9, you want to know where your interest is more, in which particular field. Then there is a psychometric test which would be conducted with grade 9 and 10 students. So all these features are there to help students and to support them in their career. So this is just a baby step which we have taken right now, and I'm sure over a period of time you will see how this platform is helping you. Not only this platform, the entire program which we have initiated, Mentoring Young Minds, what all programs we would be doing, which will really help you to get into a good university after grade 12. Because the process has to go on simultaneously when you are doing your grade 11 and 12. Right. So I won't take much time, and I would now request Ms. Umama to go ahead with her presentation. In case if you have any question or query, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much. And your exams are going on. All the best. Tomorrow also you have exam, so we'll not take much time of yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Before we start, please, I request the parents and the students to keep their cameras on but mics off and participate in the session. And any questions, any queries, as ma'am said, will be answered and taken up at the end of the session. Ms. Umama, you may please begin your orientation. The screen is all yours.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name's Umama and I'm the Customer Success Manager or point of contact for your school at Bridgeview. I'm based in Dubai, so we are very close in a similar time zone as well. And I'm really excited, as Miss Sarah also mentioned, to kind of get started on this journey with you all. You are only in grade 10 or grade 9. Why are we being pushed to do this so early on? But it's really, really important that you go ahead and you start creating your profiles on Bridgeview early on. So even if there are changes in choices you make or things that you're interested in, you can kind of see those changes and see what results in terms of universities you may be matched with along that journey. So the idea behind Bridgeview really is to help you explore all of your different options now, whether that's the sort of career you want to pursue, or a course you're interested in, or a specific university or college you'd like to study at. We're basically here to kind of help you find the best match or best fit, and when you've done that, help you build a really successful college application towards that. And of course, have your counselors and this entire wonderful team out here in front of you to kind of support you along the way. So again, as I mentioned, it's really important that if you do have something of interest, make sure that you kind of mark that on Bridgeview. If you're unsure of how to do that, definitely raise that as a question, and we can kind of teach you how to do that. But definitely do make sure that you keep your counselors in the loop about whatever it is that you may be interested in by using Bridgeview or engaging in Bridgeview as possible. Now I will go ahead and kind of share my screen and just walk you through what the platform looks like. So shortly after the session, the students will all be receiving what we call a welcome email. And you'll simply be prompted to go ahead and create your login credentials with the username and password to kind of sign on to Bridgeview. When you sign on, you'll see a homepage that looks very similar to right here as well. I will just stop the video so the sharing becomes actually better. Okay, awesome. So I'm hoping that everyone is able to kind of see my screen or the homepage, what the Bridgeview homepage kind of looks like. And of course, once you start building your profiles, there will be more tasks and things that are assigned to you that will be collated right here. However, to get you all started, once you log in, there's two main support options that we definitely encourage students to use as well. One is our help center in the bottom left-hand corner, and one is our live chat button on the bottom right-hand corner. So if you go on and you select the help center, you'll be redirected to all of these video tutorials and step-by-step instructions to kind of help you with anything that you may need assistance with in Bridgeview. For example, if you're not sure how to apply to universities in Hong Kong, it's searchable by keyword. You can simply type in Hong Kong, and the A to Z's of how to apply to universities in Hong Kong, such as our country guide, would kind of pop up, and you'd be able to kind of understand how to apply to, say, for example, universities in Hong Kong. If you're interested in learning how a specific feature works on Bridgeview, you may go ahead and kind of type in that tool's name or that feature, and you'd be taken to video tutorials to kind of help you along the way. And all of the links that I actually share with Miss Sarah after the session today will all be redirected here as well. And if you'd like to search for anything on your own, you can do that as well. Our live chat button is available to you students from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Qatar time. And, anything you may have an issue with, whether it's a technical issue, you're having trouble logging into your account, or you forgot your password, or anything that it may be, and you need immediate assistance with, you are able to go ahead and ask this on the live chat, and our support team would get back to you with an answer in a couple of minutes. So definitely do make use of this as well. So now coming on over to to back to the newsfeed, you'll see that there's a notifications tab right here, a messages tab right here, and a tasks list right here. We also have what we call our discover feed on BridgeU. So this includes useful advice and information and articles on everything you need to know on applying to university. And this will vary according to which grade level you're in. So if you're in grade 10, this may look very different for you when you are in grade 12. And any interest that you've marked on BridgeU, for example, you've marked that you're interested in studying in Europe, so our BridgeU online university fairs that consist of all European universities would kind of pop up for you. Similarly, the top indicates all of BridgeU's upcoming events. So we have loads of different events, whether that's you need help writing a personal statement, or you need to understand interview process for internships and so on. We have loads and loads of events that are catered to anything that you may be looking for. And in case you aren't able to attend during these times, you can even register and the recording would be sent to you. So that would be really helpful to kind of refer back to at a later stage. When your counselor assigns you tasks, they'll go ahead and kind of pop up for you right here. So for example, if you are given this first task to build your shortlist with university matches and you're confused which tool, this is the toolbar right here, to be using in order to complete this, you'd simply go ahead and select go to tool. You'd also be notified in the notification tab, which is the bell icon right here, when you are assigned a new task. And when you are assigned a new task, you can actually go ahead and just select the go to tool. You'll also go ahead and get like a reminder email when your due date is approaching, and you can also go ahead and comment on this. So for example, if you're unclear on how to complete this task, you can go ahead and comment on this, and this would go back to your advisor, and your advisor can kind of answer whatever query you may have by replying back. So the first tool that I actually want to talk about today, which is actually the backbone of collecting all of this information about you so that we can give you recommendations based on all of the things that you're interested in. So the reason that we ask you a bunch of different questions is so that we can go ahead and give you university matches, which is right here, based on the information that you put into the profile builder. Now, please do keep in mind that the information that you put in can always come back, be like your principal mentioned earlier as well, it can be changed at any given time. And of course, when you change that information, the university matches that you are presented with would change as well. So don't hesitate if you think that your subject interests have changed, or if your career path has changed, or things that you're interested in has changed. You can always come back and kind of change these things around on BridgeU. So the first question, I want to kind of take you through some of the questions on this profile builder. The profile builder, as I mentioned, is the backbone of all of the information that you enter on BridgeU, and this is also your counselors or your advisors can see this information as well. So it's really important that you kind of answer these questions accurately. So for example, you'll see that which of these countries would you consider studying in? So you'll see that obviously these are not all of the countries listed in the world. There are ones where we have enough data where we can give you or reliably give you matches based on the information you're inputting into this profile. So basically what that means is if you are interested in studying in Canada, we may be able to tell you if you have a 5% chance or a 50% chance of getting into, say, University of Toronto. However, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be interested in other countries, or this shouldn't hinder you from applying to other countries as well. So for example, if you're interested in, say, universities in Qatar, you can go ahead and add that country, like you see these countries as well, manually, and it would go ahead and appear in your countries that you're interested in list. And that's really important as well, because again, that information goes back to your counselor. Once you're done with this kind of basic information section, you'll come on over to the education section. Now, the education section, you'll see a lot of students get stumbled by when we say add target grades. Now, of course, if, for example, you want to study in the US, there's more than 4,000 different universities in the US. So how do you know if you have a good chance of getting into, say, Boston University or New York University? That's, of course, one of the main things that it's based on is your academic academic results or your grades. So that's why we need to have maybe, you know, a roundabout of what grades you think you may be achieving in your board exams. So to go ahead and kind of add your target grades or predicted grades, or you know, being really realistic and not overinflating what grades you may get, be really realistic, consult your advisor, see what maybe your predicted grades look like as well. And to go ahead and add a new grade, you simply select new grade, the CBSE, which subjects you think you will be scoring in, and the grade you think you will be achieving. So I've done this, and I kind of just filled this out to show you all an example today. But of course you can go, you know, your subjects may look differently from another student's, or your grades may look differently from another student's. And of course the university matches that you are given at the end will also be different from another student. So do keep that in mind. When it comes to subject interests as well, you'll see that there's loads of different categories that you can kind of choose from. Whether you're interested in a general business category, you can see that there's loads of different subcategories or different types of fields you can go into within business. So a lot of students your age are still kind of trying to figure out, you know, what they want to do. And of course, when you choose your you know, your subjects as well, and you start to go towards a specific direction, you are able to understand which subjects you'd like to study in college or university. So you can go ahead and mark those that are of interest to you right here and read a little bit about each one right here. And when you do mark a subject that's of interest to you, it'll collect right here on the right hand corner. And as you can see, you can go ahead and explore different subject categories. So you can go ahead and explore different fields, you can go ahead and explore different subfields, and so on. And once you go ahead and you kind of do that, and keep in mind, you can choose as few or as many subjects as you'd like, and the university matches you're presented with will reflect those. So if you've selected that you'd like to study economics and a specific university does not have economics, then obviously you will not be presented with that university as an option. So definitely do go ahead and make sure that you have some sort of an idea or some sort of subject category kind of lined up for you as well. And then of course personal preferences are really important as well. You know, we don't realize, but you know, whether you want to go to a small university or a big university, a private university or public university, all of these are kind of taken into account in your personal preferences as well. So definitely do take your time to kind of fill these out as well. Now when you're done, or when you've completed the profile builder, you'd select get your university matches. So we kind of see what this is all about. Why has Bridju asked me to kind of, you know, enter all of this information in the profile builder and answer so many questions? And of course, keep in mind, a lot of this might change in the next couple of months, and that's absolutely fine. This is merely a preliminary snapshot to give you the kind of universities you'd be able to get into. And obviously it's based on the number of countries you're interested in studying and the subjects you marked you're interested in studying in. So you'll see that this is divided into 4 columns right here, and also the countries you marked that you are interested in studying. Now you'll see when you come to the universities tab, there's 2 ways to explore universities. One may be through the matches that you're presented with. So say you have a 96 or 87% chance of getting into a specific university, or you can go ahead and explore universities directly by typing in the name of the university you're interested in, which I will just take you through shortly. So for example, you'll know that reach, match, and safety. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with these terms, but reach, match, and safety colleges basically refer to safety colleges, which you have the highest chance of acceptance, reach ones, which you have the lowest chance of acceptance, and match universities, which you have a good chance of acceptance. So usually students are advised to apply to a mix of all 3 different types of universities. And you'll go ahead and see that you can go ahead and kind of divide these, or kind of present these university matches to yourself with either through these reach categories, or I actually advise students to go ahead and kind of divide it up according to the country, so it's easier for you to kind of understand. So for example, if you're interested in studying at LSE, say maybe accounting and finance, you'd go ahead and see, you could read a little bit more about the university, the course, visit the university's website, and then you'd also go ahead and see what the chance of acceptance for you kind of looks like, and also if marking your preferences, you may have said that you would like to go to a university that's based in the city. This may or may not be a university that's based in the city. So your personal preferences are also taken into account. What's also taken into account is the course you mark that you're interested in studying. So if you've marked that you're interested in studying in business, does this course relate to the subject you're interested in studying or not? And then you may also go ahead and kind of take notes. So for example, if you'd like to tell your advisor this is your first choice, you can simply go ahead and add that as a note, and your advisor would be able to see that from their end. So it's really important to go ahead and mark countries or which you are interested in, so your counselors kind of learn that about you as well. And then you can go to the explore section and directly search universities. So if you'd like to search by a specific subject, or if you'd like to search by a specific country. So for example, you'd like to study at Northwestern Qatar. So you can go ahead and simply type that in, and Northwestern Qatar would pop up for you. Now the whole point of this, or if you'd like to go ahead and explore more universities in Qatar, you can go ahead and simply type that as well. The whole point of this universities page is to shortlist universities that you're interested in studying in and mark those on your profile, so your counselor is able to understand, okay, does the student want to study in the US? Do they want to stay in Qatar? Okay, do they need to take the SAT? Do they not need to take the SAT? Would they need to fill out the common application, or would they not need to fill out the common application? So these are all really important questions that your counselor would need to go ahead and ask you individually. However, we've made it easier for students to be able to mark all of this on BridgeU. So for example, if you go ahead and you shortlist a university, that just means that you are considering studying in the university. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will go ahead and apply, because of course applying would be at a later stage when you're in grade 12. But it's really important to go ahead and start shortlisting, or what we call marking interest, of the universities that you are definitely interested in. So I would definitely go ahead and suggest that you, as a first thing, to go ahead and start filling out the profile builder, and then come on over to the universities tab and start exploring universities this way or through the matches. So this is really, really important that you go ahead and you kind of do this at an early stage. So I know that we've been kind of talking about so much about academics, but obviously students sometimes get stumped that, what about extracurriculars? What about all the activities I've done in school and so on? So it's really important that you go ahead and, of course, you start listing that out as well. So the strategy advisor on BridgeU kind of helps you build your experiences and kind of start building up your profile or your CV. And what my favorite part about the strategy advisor actually is that once you go ahead and you add in all of your experiences or all of the achievements you've done so far, it tells you which areas you need to improve in. So this is really important that you do this early on as well, so you are able to kind of understand which areas you still have time to improve in. So I'll just take you through how this works. Step one is basically listing out what experiences you have. You basically describe it in this box right here, and you can put in as many details as possible: what you did, when you did it, what you learned. So even if you are confused, you can go ahead and read through our examples right here. So for example, for this student, I marked that she tutored a grade 9 economics student, or she worked at a marketing company in year 11. So anything and everything that you did that is related to extracurriculars, you can actually go ahead and kind of add on here. Now, once you've actually gone ahead and add in all of your experiences, now you want to kind of maybe understand, what did you learn from those? And, why would a university admissions team think those are relevant or even care about those? So for that, we have what we call the strategy factors. Now you can actually quickly read through what each strategy factor is, or you can actually go ahead and click this little help icon and refer back to these at any time. So each experience, whether you tutored a grade 9 economics study, a student, or interned at a specific company, it should have taught you something. It should have that experience. You should have learned something from it. So once you go ahead and you add all of the experiences, you want to select the quality or what that experience experience relates to, or what that experience taught you. And you can do that by selecting the different strategy factors. And of course, keep in mind that there can be more than one strategy factor as well. So for example, this student tutored the grade 9 economics student, so that shows that she has subject interest outside of the classroom, formative interest definitely in this specific subjects. That shows that she's working towards her career goals. She took the leadership to go ahead and tutor this economics student, and so on. And of course, keep in mind that university representatives do understand that 2020 and 2021 we were living through the pandemic, so not everything you could do in person. That's why it's really important to maybe have done some sort of online certification or online coding course, and you can always go ahead and add that as well, and that's absolutely fine. Once you go ahead and you kind of do the last part, as I indicated at the start, is you can go ahead and learn to improve your strategy. So the strategy advisor will go ahead and let you know that you are currently strong in 8 out of 16 areas, and it actually indicates how you can kind of improve. So you guys are only in grade 10, so you still have almost 2 years or 2 summers to go ahead and add more experiences to your CV or to your profile, and you can learn how to do those through different examples that the strategy advisor gives you. That you may not have something demonstrating the teamwork factor. Maybe these are some ways you can kind of improve your teamwork factor. So it's a great way to kind of understand how you compare to your peers as well, and what other extracurricular activities you can be doing. Now, the great thing about the strategy advisor is that you can actually get what we call a strategy report, again, which your counselor sees. So it's really important that you go ahead and you kind of fill this out for your advisors to see. And you may be aware that a lot of your teachers or your advisors go ahead and write a recommendation letter for you when you're going to college. So this is a great way for you to show your recommenders the summary of your achievements, and also helps you get started with your university application essays. So say for example you are having trouble brainstorming ideas for your application essays. So this is a great way for you to kind of be able to do that. The last tool that I actually want to talk about, the last 2 tools that I actually want to talk about today, is the careers tool. Now I know that a lot of you have, started exploring different or future career paths.
Very good. Cherry.
To kind of go ahead and pursue different career paths in higher education, or at least have some sort of idea what you would like to do when you graduate, or even when you're going to college. So the career tool is quite helpful to give you an idea of what it's like to pursue different careers, and also what subjects would be appropriate to study to kind of lead you down that path. Because for example, let's take the example of engineering. You can see that there's different job groups similar to the subject groups that you can kind of explore, or you can go ahead and kind of start exploring one type of job group. So for example, I know that many of you know that there's different kinds of engineers. You can be an aerospace engineer, and you can even do civil engineering. So you want to kind of understand what an aerospace engineer does, for example. So if you are interested in maybe pursuing aerospace engineering, you can go ahead and mark your interest, and again, it would be collated on the right hand side. Learn a little bit more about what an aerospace engineer does. So it pulls out all of the related degree subjects as well. So you can see that you can either pursue a degree in aerospace, aeronautical, and astronautical engineering, or you can pursue a general engineering degree and maybe major or specialize in aerospace and aeronautical engineering at a later stage. So you can do either degree. It also goes ahead and pulls out the salary data. So this, of course, you want to understand, what the salary would look like in a couple of years, or what the starting salary would look like when you graduate. And how we actually get this salary information and these related skills, which I'll just get to in a minute, is that we have a software that actually goes through 40,000 job posting websites daily, and it looks at the average salaries being posted or offered for this position, and similarly the job skills as well. So for example, if you've seen what a job description or job posting looks like, you'll see, sometimes it'll say, you're required to have these skills, and that comes under related skills for a particular job or a particular job category. So, and this is a great time for you to understand that, okay, if I want to go into aerospace engineering, I definitely need to take physics. But I didn't know that aerospace engineering requires a great amount of writing or planning. I'm great at physics, or I'm great at chemistry, but I didn't know that it involved these other skills. So this is a great time for you to kind of do a self-reflection and see, would you be able to pursue this particular career if you don't have those skills, or maybe work on these skills that you may not necessarily think that you have but are a big part of the related skills of these degree subjects. Furthermore, you'll go ahead and you'll see that you want to know, will this job exist when I graduate, or will there be demand for this as well, so for future job prospects. So it's really important that you go ahead and you kind of look through the monthly demand. So for example, if you scroll down here, you'll see the actual number of job postings for an aerospace engineer per month. And you can see, sadly, if you hover over here, that in 2020, during the pandemic, this had a severe impact. So not only was the aerospace and airline industry had taken a hit, but of course the overall job industry had taken a big hit. But obviously you can see that this has kind of started to pick back up in 2021. Similarly, you can see that for engineering as well. And you can do this with all of the different job categories that you're interested in. So you could do this for similar jobs, or you could go ahead and directly search a job that you're interested in. So for example, political science and government as well. And you can go ahead and go through similar skills or similar demand, or what the job prospects may look like for this particular kind of job. And you can go ahead and also form what we call a careers report. And again, this goes back to your advisor, so your advisor is able to help you out, that okay, if this student wants to become a chemical engineer, does he or she have the correct subjects that they've taken up? If not, maybe they can point you into a different direction, or they want to obviously see if this lines up with your own skills and interests, and how that can be kind of applicable. So they are able to kind of point you in the right direction. And similarly, when you're assigned what we call the KTS, or the Keys to Succeed assessments on BridgeU, you'll be prompted to go ahead and complete an assessment test. So there are 3 different types of assessment tests. One is learning styles, one is multiple intelligence, and one is your personality types. So you can kind of tie that in. You can send the results on BridgeU back to your advisor, and you can kind of tie that back, and your advisor can kind of help guide you on whether you're on the right career path, or based on your personality, or based on the things you're interested in, maybe you should be going down a different career path. So these things all kind of tie in on BridgeU, the universities you're interested in, the subjects you're interested in, the sort of careers you're interested in, and of course the assessment tests that you kind of take in. They kind of all go ahead and tie back together. So yeah, that was a brief introduction to BridgeU. I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and just turn on my video again. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to kind of help answer them at this stage. I do I do understand that this was a quick overview, but we tried to just go through it as quickly as possible to give you all an overview and not take up too much of your time before your exam tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Mama. I'm sure this is, even for the parents and students, this is just the first step. It might all seem very overwhelming, but eventually once we get our hands on it, it'll all make sense. There were a few interactions I was having simultaneously while the presentation was going on. So I just wanted to clear that, and please correct me. Like currently the grade stand, as far as the predicted marks are concerned, the students who are either in grade 9 or 10, they're going to predict their marks for the coming exams. And once you move ahead to grade 11 and 12, then you predict for grade 12. That is going to help you decide and, you know, give you a clearer view of whether you're on the right track of your career selection, your college selections, and everything. So I hope I've got that right, and I hope it's been sent out in the correct way.
Yeah, that's correct. The thing is, it really depends on each school's curriculum as well, and it's also up to the advisors if they'd like to go ahead and have students predict their final year grades, and then of course change that as you move along. You know, maybe you are weaker in one subject or you're stronger in one subject, and go ahead and change that. And as you change those grades around, or as you change your subjects around or your preferences around on the profile builder, you are able to go ahead and see that there will be different university matches you're presented with, and that's absolutely all right as well. You are, that's why it's important to go ahead and keep marking your short list as well, and keep making notes back and forth with your advisor, so you can kind of see the changes as well. That, you know, in grade 10 I was really interested in the US, but I think what I'd like to pursue, maybe I'd be more well fitted for the UK, and so on. So it really just will definitely change as you get started, and that's absolutely okay.
All right, makes sense. Thank you. We have Lakshmi's mother here with us, and she wanted to ask a question. Ma'am, if you could please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Yep. My name is Lakshmi. I'm representing my daughter. She's not here at the moment. I'm at work. I just wanted to understand. So Bridgeview basically connects us to the universities in and around the world. But how does it help with the stream, choosing of the stream, or is a separate line altogether, or does Bridgeview help us with guiding the students and selecting what sort of streams they want to take up, what sort of subjects they want to take up, and where their skills and linking them back to the career choices they want? Does it help, or is it just a repository where, in the sense, it helps them with the tracking of their progress to where their career they want to get there in their career? So this is my question.
Sure, thank you so much. That's actually a great question. So yeah, we actually didn't deep dive into everything, but for example, we have the assessments. So there are three different types of assessments, and you know, depending on how your a child learns, or what their personality is like, there are different career options that are kind of suggested to them and presented to them, and you can go ahead and kind of then link them back up onto the careers tool on Bridgeview. So I believe that one of the first steps that the students will go ahead and be completing are the assessments, and going ahead and kind of sending those results back to their counselor to see if they're on the right track, or to kind of help them choose the right subjects, or point them kind of in the right direction as well. You know, if someone is a little bit more creative, it may not necessarily be a set of theoretical subjects that they may be interested in, so on. So I would say that it's a combination of both. It kind of helps them with different streams, whether that's, you know, the university they want to choose, the course they want to choose, or the subjects they'd like to pursue, and then of course helps them kind of track their progress. And then of course, as the last step in the university application, in the university journey, helps them with the application process as well.
Thank you. And if I may just add here that, ma'am, as you answered, so this is a collaborative effort. Along with the assessments, there are going to be one-on-one counseling sessions with the students as well. So if there is a change of interest, or, you know, the student or the parents are not seeing eye to eye with the course, it will all be taken up. University selections and college selections are probably like one of the last stop that comes, closer to grade 12. But through the process, right from grade 9 through all these years, there will be hand-holding throughout in terms of judging their aptitude, their interests, helping them evolve, build their stronger profile. So all of those things will be covered. I hope we answered your question well, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
All right, thank you. And most likely, yes, the psychometric assessments will be taken up by all the students. And accordingly, sessions will be conducted, and we are going to take it forward from there. There was one question with that. Yes. Do we have any more questions? Anything else? Any more clarity? all the relevant videos, all the information will be shared with the students as and when we move ahead with each step. So please don't get overwhelmed with the whole process. And I will be here. I will be your point of contact in case of anything. Please feel free to contact me, both parents and students as well. So this was it. Thank you so much, Ms. Omama. We still have our headmistress, our principal, and Sujit sir with us. So thank you so much, and good luck for all your remaining exams, grade 10. I'm sure you're all too eager about it, but I'm sure you'll all do well. So good luck, and thank you so much.